Hello everybody, welcome back. I feel like every video I'm trying to like sort my hair out. Welcome back to a new video. So today I'm going to be doing another interview experience video. Today I'm going to be talking about Fletcher Building. So if you've never heard of Fletcher Building, essentially they're a construction company here based in New Zealand. I think they also have offices in Australia, but they're a very big corporation, so their business kind of spans across like various smaller companies as well. So I applied to the graduate program here in New Zealand. So before I get into it, I'll just give a quick timeline in case you're curious. I applied online on the 23rd of May, and then about a month later, on the 25th of June, I did a video interview. One of those pre-recorded ones where essentially you just record yourself answering questions. And then on the 15th of July, about 3 weeks later, I did an online interview. So this was kind of like a live interview with it was with two of the managers from their business, and yeah, this was on Microsoft Teams, and I think it lasted for about 30 minutes. Following that, I didn't hear back from them for about 3 weeks, and I sent a follow-up email as well, and now it's been about 1 month and I still haven't heard of anything from them, which I think is a bit unacceptable. So with that being said, let's jump into the actual video. I'm just going to cover my recorded video experience and then the live interview on Microsoft Teams. So in terms of the recorded video, it started pretty basic. The first question was, please tell us a little bit about yourself. So this is a pretty generic question. I think honestly there isn't necessarily like a wrong or right answer to this, but generally what I try and do is I just talk about my university, things that I've involved in, and maybe like some jobs I've had in the past. So yeah, I would say just a really quick summary. If you can get it down to like 30 seconds to a minute, that would be a good time. Then there was a question that asked if you were interested in like the engineering side or the business side. So for engineering students, it was like, which part of engineering or construction are you most interested in? And then for business students, it was like, why are you interested in the construction industry? And then after that, there was a question about which of their businesses, the business units most interest you and why. Honestly, I don't think I had a very great answer. I think I might have said like infrastructure because you can impact a lot of people, but yeah, honestly, I don't even remember what I said, but I don't think it's too important. Just make something up and just have a good reason. And then the next question was, who is the most inspirational person in your life and why? And I think I actually talked about my mum in this, just how she basically came from nothing and then built her whole like life and business from the ground up. So again, I don't think there is necessarily a wrong answer to this. I think as long as you're honest and you seem genuine, it could be a family member or even like a celebrity or a business person that you admire. And then another question was, why should we pick you to be part of the 2022 graduate program? So this is really a good chance for you to like showcase all your skills. It's basically a time for you to brag about everything you've done. So I think I talked about like having a good combination of both business and technical knowledge, and then obviously I've had many years working in customer experience. I've done an internship as well and all that good stuff. And then the final question was about health and safety. So obviously being a construction company, it's really important for them. And I think the question was, if you see someone at work doing something unsafe, what would you do? So I think I said that first of all, it would depend on the situation. So if it was something that I felt was like immediate danger, then obviously I would try and let them know that what they're doing is unsafe and try and stop it. If it was something that like perhaps could pose danger or wasn't like an immediate emergency thing but was still unsafe, I'd try and like report it to my manager or someone like later down the line. I don't think it took too long, maybe about like 10-15 minutes. And then in terms of the actual interview, this was done on Microsoft Teams and it was with two people from the business. So when they called me up, they actually offered me a position within Higgins, which is like a separate kind of like side business off of Fletcher Building. Honestly, I had never heard of Higgins before, but I did a little bit of research and I found that they're basically just like a family owned a lot smaller, and they work mainly like building roads and like motorways and that kind of thing. It seemed like kind of like an odd ad hoc role because when I applied to a graduate program, like in my mind it's like you start with a cohort of bunch of graduates and it's like just a good time, but it seemed to me like this was a lot smaller and you're kind of just you working alongside like one manager and basically just their right hand man, if you will. This lasted about 30 minutes. And I think a large part of the entire interview was them just explaining to me like what the job was, since I didn't really know. So yeah, they probably just spent the first 10 minutes explaining like what they actually wanted me to do. So from my understanding, it sounded like I was basically just like the data personal assistant for them. So I was just, collating all the data for my manager, who would then, be able to use these insights and then present information to the CEO, and then they could make, business decisions. And then, yeah, so after they kind of explained me the role, I think the first question they asked me was just why did I choose to study business and information systems? And I actually have a whole video of this coming in the future, so I'm not going to go into it a ton, but basically, I was interested in tech and business, so I thought Infosys was a good option. And then they also asked me about my previous roles in the past, so I talked about being a past mentor, and then another question was name a time where you had a conflict and you had different viewpoints. And then they also asked me why I wanted to join Higgins specifically, and yeah, it was very chill interview, to be honest. It felt like a conversation throughout the interview. I think they also asked me some advice, like they were like, you seem pretty impressive, do you have any advice for my kids like that are thinking of going to uni, how to like balance your time and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, overall it was very chill. I remember one of the managers, he was literally like in a cafe and just like sipping coffee while we were talking. So it was a very chill vibe, and honestly after the interview I felt I did fairly well. It definitely ended quite abruptly. Like I thought 30 minutes was pretty short, so I guess that was good, because I've done some interviews where I felt like I just had to keep on talking and asking questions just to like continue the conversation, because it didn't flow as well. So yeah, overall I felt like I did pretty good. Unfortunately, as I've mentioned in the beginning, they kind of ghosted me, so I haven't heard back, and so I think I can safely assume that I didn't get the job. But yeah, to conclude, I would say if you have an interview with Fletcher, I would try and stay calm. Like in general, it's pretty chill. I think it's important to know, what you're studying and why it is that you want to work there. Be yourself, try to be genuine, and I'm sure you'll be fine. So hopefully you all enjoyed this video, found something informative or entertaining, and I'll see you in my next one. Ciao!